Okay, so how did I do? Well, this is very interesting. The shoe that I actually felt better in was considerably slower than the one I didn't feel quite so good in. Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to a place called Chertsey Meads, nice and flat around here. Now, I've got the burning question, which of the Vaporfly 1 here or the Vaporfly 4 do I think is best? Well, this is probably the Vaporfly 1, my favourite shoe of all time, I would probably have to say. Be a close thing with some New Balance shoes from years ago and some Nike spikes as well that I did all my PBs in. But in modern day shoes, I think this is the one for sure. Vaporfly 4's had a bit of a bad rap, isn't it? I saw Andy, FOD runner, said it was like the worst shoe out, or the worst super shoe out on the market at the moment, although he did seem to do a reasonable run in it. I mean, I think for him, he just prefers the Puma DV8 Nitro, and he said he even preferred the Evo SL, which I think is a bit radical. I've had some good runs in the Vaporfly 4, not such a great race in them, but I think that was more me. But the Vaporfly 1, it also has that sort of excellent compromise between being soft and not too soft. And I think now the shoes seem to be getting ever softer. This isn't perhaps the softest of shoes by any margins, but you do feel that the Vaporfly 4 and the 3 before it certainly soften them up compared to the 1 and the 2. And I think for me, it sort of took a bit away from it. The 3 had a very sort of pour up of it. I did work around it. The 4 is nice and light, but maybe just sort of lost a bit of edge. I think sometimes I just feel it's a bit too soft and doesn't have quite the sort of same bounce off the ground feeling. And the fact that even though the fit is good, I just found that the Vaporweave for me with a narrow foot was just so good. So what I'm going to do is I've got a mile race on Friday, so Matt set me a tune-up session of 4x400s, starting though with a 4-minute threshold just to get myself into it, and then finishing with 3 150s. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the threshold and the first 2 400s in the Vaporfly 1s, and I'll move into the Vaporfly 4s for the rest of the session and see how I feel. Now, sometimes when you put the shoe on towards the end of a session, especially a session like this, as long as you haven't gone too hard, then the later one may work better, just the fact you've got a bit looser, but we shall have to see. Trying to preempt what's going to happen, I think I'm going to find that the Vaporfly 4 will do okay, but maybe if I'd have swapped them around the other way, I think the Vaporfly 1 may have been my favourite, but we'll see. Sometimes I think these days we worry overly much about shoes and it's just about getting on with it and whatever your fitness is. Certainly I've done all my best runs in the Vaporfly 1 from 2019, 2020, so that's already about 5 years ago, so I'm getting slower. So when I put shoes on now, I expect them to be great. I think I have to remember the fact that I've lost 5 years of age. I'm 58 now, and unfortunately the speed's not quite there at the moment. So when I was at the moment going sort of sub 20 for 5k just about, where I was going sort of sub 18 for 5k back in the 5 years ago. So yeah, it's not a bit of a slippery slope of late. Anyway, let's crack on with it. Okay, 4-minute threshold done in the Vaporfly 1s. I must say, even though I'm tired, I really do enjoy running in them. They just feel almost the perfect fit for me on the Vaporweave. And just that's to say, that slightly soft feeling, but so much sort of feel like you can sort of rebound from the road. And this is a shoe that I first bought in 2019, and here we are 6 years later, still thinking that these are probably the best shoe for me. What I've got, as must emphasise for me, I think that's the crucial part in all this. Okay, rep 1 done. I think, note to myself, make sure you're properly warmed up for these, because I really do feel like you're really hammering it. It felt nice. Shoes felt great, Vaporfly 1s, but yeah, we'll see if the lack of relative warmth is going to be a factor. Oh, that was really good actually. I think the wind helped a bit though, but I was about 77, so yeah, we'll try for that. All right, let's change shoes then. So in comparison, I'd say the fit in the Vaporfly 4s is much more of a relaxed fit. I thought initially they were quite narrow, but having worn them now 50 miles, I'm having to pull in these laces quite a lot. Still got a bit of bagginess up there at the front, which makes them very comfortable. Just maybe just take slightly at the edge of it, just feel that you're not wrapped in there, and I can actually press my thumb down there. So effectively they seem to become out wider for me, but they are lighter by 30 grams. So yeah, interesting. Right, it's 2 more 400s then, and then into the 150s. So I think this will be the killer one. The third lap of a mile or a 1500 is always the key one, isn't it? So let's crack on and see how we do. Okay, so how did I do? Well, this is very interesting. The shoe I actually felt better in was considerably slower than the one I didn't feel quite so good in. And I think that just comes down to the fact that I was perhaps better warmed up by the time I had the Vaporfly 4s on, and perhaps I was just also trying harder. The first split in the Vaporfly 1 was a 78, which is pretty quick, then a 76, and then the equivalent rep in the Vaporfly 4 was a 74, the fastest of all, and finished with a 75, just a fraction slower. So considerably quicker in the Vaporfly 4 compared to the Vaporfly 1. If I'd done those tests the other way around and worn the Vaporfly 1 second, would it have been the other way around? Possibly. I think I actually said that in the intro. So I think it just goes to show, actually, that sometimes that just get on with it, and the effort is more important than the shoe. Yes, this did feel slightly softer, but at that pace, don't forget, that's not even still elite marathon pace. I was sort of going there about 5-minute miling, wasn't I? So yeah, it's probably about a 2:12 marathon pace. So yeah, pretty good, but I can hold that for about 1.25 minutes. That is about the sum of it, isn't it? Anyway, so I hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on that. What do you think of this test? Do you think this was a fair test? I don't think it really was, actually, because I think I said that the shoe I'd wear second would be the fastest, and sure enough it was, and even though this is the shoe that I much prefer. So yeah, it just goes to show that, well, yeah, just get on with it, and maybe it's down to your fitness and your ability at the end of the day.